Okay, so today, let's dive into getting a clear picture of your customers. Even when the data's spread out all over the place, like we've all been there, right?
Yeah,
Spreadsheets over here, reports over there, dashboards that just don't seem to connect. It's like trying to solve a jigsaw puzzle, but with like half the pieces missing.
it's a common challenge for sure.
Yeah. And today we're diving into Salesforce Data Cloud to see if it really lives up to the hype. Can it actually be the solution to this data overload?
Well, the need for a what we call a modern data stack, that's for sure greater than ever. Businesses really need a streamlined way of handling data if they want to make the most of it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And we've got articles here about Data Cloud being like a giant magnet for customer information. But I've got to ask, what does that actually look like when you put it into practice?
Right. Okay, so picture this. Instead of your sales team, your marketing team, and your customer service team all working with like separate pieces of data, Data Cloud brings it all together. It's not just about marketing data like some of those traditional CDPs out there.
So it's more than just another CDP. Got it.
Yeah, it's about connecting all the dots across your entire business, giving you a complete view of your customer.
Okay, but I've got to ask the tough question here. Why should I care about having all this data in one place? What's the real benefit? What's the bottom line?
All right, so let's say you're trying to predict which customers are most likely to leave, churn. Now, if you're only looking at sales data, you might be missing some really important warning signs, like how they're interacting with your service team or what they're doing on your website. Data Cloud tries to solve that by creating that single source of truth. So you can make decisions with all the information, not just part of it.
Makes sense. So it's about being confident in the insights you're getting.
Right.
But I have to admit, Data Cloud almost sounds too good to be true. How does it pull data from all of these different sources without it being a huge headache?
Well, it's built on this idea of being open and adaptable. Data Cloud isn't limited to just data from Salesforce. It can connect with all sorts of systems, like internal systems. You've got marketing platforms, data lakes, even data from competitors.
We really? Competitor data.
Yeah. Although our legal team might want to have a word about that first.
I bet they would. But seriously, how does it actually manage to connect to everything? Will I need to like completely revamp my current system?
No, not at all. Salesforce has built-in connectors for all its own products, and thanks to MuleSoft's huge library of connectors, it can talk to a whole bunch of other systems. It doesn't matter if they're in the cloud or on your servers.
Okay, so we've gathered all this data from everywhere. What's the next step in this data recipe we keep hearing about?
All right, so the next step is what we call harmonize. And this is where things get interesting. Remember how different teams use different names for the same thing? Sales calls it customer ID. Marketing calls it lead ID. It's like everyone speaking a different language.
Total chaos.
Exactly. Data Cloud uses something called Salesforce's metadata model. It's like creating a universal dictionary, so everyone's on the same page.
So it's more than just throwing all the data into one giant digital bucket. There's actual organization happening behind the scenes.
Exactly. Think of it like organizing a massive library. You need a system to categorize and shelve the books so people can actually find what they're looking for. Data Cloud does that for your data. It makes sure that everyone in your company is working with the same standardized information.
That makes a lot of sense. And I imagine with the amount of data companies are dealing with these days, it must need a pretty robust way of handling it all.
Right. You're telling me. That's where Apache Iceberg comes in.
Okay, for those of us who aren't exactly data engineering experts, what is Apache Iceberg?
So basically, it's a really powerful tool that lets Data Cloud handle and query those huge data sets super efficiently. It's like having a super fast indexing system for your data. You can find the information you need in like seconds, even if you're dealing with billions of data points.
Wow. No more waiting around for queries to run. That's a win in my book. But what kind of data are we talking about here? Like, give me some concrete examples.
Think about any data that could help you understand your customer better. You've got your transactional data from your CRM, behavioral data from your website, maybe data streaming in from IoT devices if you've got them. You could even bring in unstructured data like social media interactions. Data Cloud brings it all together.
Okay, so we've connected our data, we've got it all organized, and now we've got this incredibly detailed view of our customers. So what's next? How do we actually use this to make better decisions? That's where I'm guessing Activate comes in.
You got it. Activate is all about taking action based on this really solid data foundation we've built.
Okay, I love action. But I need more than just the general idea. Give me some real-world examples. What can I actually do with all of this data?
So let's say you want to create personalized marketing campaigns that are automatically triggered by what your customers are doing in real time. Or maybe you want to be able to spot potential problems in your supply chain before they even happen. Data Cloud can help you do that.
Okay, now those are some pretty compelling examples, but one thing that keeps coming up in all this research is how Data Cloud works with AI. What's the deal with that?
That's a big one. Data Cloud is really tightly integrated with Salesforce's Einstein 1 platform. Think of it like a whole toolbox full of AI capabilities.
Okay. But to be honest, sometimes AI just feels kind of intimidating. Like, do I need to be a coding genius to use these AI tools within Data Cloud?
Not at all, actually. Salesforce has really gone above and beyond to make AI user-friendly. They've got tools like Einstein Copilot and Prompt Builder that are designed specifically for people who don't have a coding background.
So it's like having an AI assistant to help make sense of all that data. Tell me more about these tools.
Yeah, so Einstein Copilot is kind of like your AI sidekick. You can ask it questions in plain English. Like you could say, what are the main reasons why customers canceled their subscriptions last quarter? And it'll go through all your Data Cloud data and give you the answers. Prompt Builder is similar, but it's more focused on automating tasks.
So no more spending hours pulling reports or trying to write complex queries myself.
Exactly. These tools are all about making AI insights and automation accessible to everyone, even if you're not a data scientist.
That's really impressive. But I did read something about being able to use your own custom AI models with Data Cloud. What's that all about?
Oh, yeah. If you're already into AI and you've got your own models, Data Cloud lets you use those too. It doesn't limit you to just the built-in tools.
That makes sense. But wouldn't trying to integrate custom AI models be really complicated?
You think so, right? But Salesforce has actually made it pretty straightforward. They have this tool called Model Builder that acts as a bridge between your own AI models and Data Cloud.
Okay, I need you to explain this to me like I'm 5.
Yeah.
How does Model Builder actually work?
Okay, so let's say you've built this amazing AI model that can predict fraudulent transactions.
Hmm.
Model Builder lets you connect that model directly to your data in Data Cloud so it can access and analyze that information in real time.
So it's like plugging your custom AI directly into the source of the data. No more messing around with transferring data or trying to find workarounds.
Exactly. It just streamlines the whole process. And it gets even better. They have this dedicated environment called Einstein Copilot Studio that works seamlessly with Model Builder.
Wait a minute, another Einstein tool. Is this like Einstein Copilot's cooler, more tech-savvy older sibling?
I guess you could say that. Einstein Copilot Studio is a workspace specifically designed for data scientists and developers to build, train, and manage those custom AI models.
So we've got Model Builder connecting the data. We've got Einstein Copilot Studio as the AI playground, and it's all connected with Data Cloud. That's a pretty impressive AI powerhouse.
It really is. And the coolest part is that your custom AI models can use the same unified, harmonized data that's powering everything else. It all works together.
We've covered so much ground here, from the basics of connecting and organizing data to some really advanced AI stuff.
We have. And we've seen how Data Cloud is aiming to be way more than just a data storage system. It wants to be the foundation for the way you understand your customers and make your business better.
It's about using data to not only see what's already happened, but to figure out what's going to happen next, and maybe even influence that future. But it's really easy to get bogged down in all the technical details. For our listeners who are just starting to get a grasp on Data Cloud, what are the key things you want them to take away from this?
That's a really important point. I think the most important thing to remember is that Data Cloud isn't just about storing data. It's about turning that data into real insights you can use to make better decisions, serve your customers better, and ultimately help your business thrive.
It's about finding those aha moments, hiding in your data, and turning them into real actions.
Exactly. Data Cloud is a powerful tool, but its real value comes from using it to solve the unique challenges that your business faces.
So instead of just asking, what is Data Cloud, it's more about asking, what can Data Cloud do for EE and my business?
Exactly. It's about moving from just managing data to really harnessing its power to make things happen.
So we've talked about what Data Cloud is in a general sense, but let's get down to brass tacks here. For our listeners out there, how do you figure out what Data Cloud can actually do for your specific needs?
Well, that's where it gets really interesting because we're moving from these general capabilities to the specific challenges that your business is facing.
Right, we've laid out all the tools, and now it's time to actually build something with them.
I like that analogy. And just like any building project, it's usually best to start with a plan. So what are your top priorities right now? Are you trying to keep your customers from leaving? Are you trying to get the most out of your marketing budget? Maybe you're trying to make your supply chain run more smoothly?
Okay, so you've got those big goals. How do you turn those into specific things you can do with Data Cloud?
It often starts by asking yourself the right questions, like what information would actually help you make better decisions in those areas. If you could see any data point at all, what would be the most valuable thing to know? Data Cloud can help you connect your data to your goals and figure out what's really important.
So instead of being overwhelmed by all the possibilities, you can focus on finding solutions to the problems that matter most to you.
Exactly. And the great thing about Data Cloud is you don't have to do everything at once.
Yeah.
You can start with something small, focus on one specific thing you want to improve, and then gradually do more as you start seeing success.
So find those quick wins that show everyone how valuable it is to have all your data working together.
Right. And once you start seeing those real tangible results, maybe you've improved your customer retention or you've gotten better results from your ad campaigns, you can use those wins to create a more data-driven culture across your entire organization.
That makes a lot of sense. This has been a really interesting conversation. We started out feeling like we were drowning in data, and now we're seeing how much potential there is when it's all connected and organized.
It really has. And this is really just the beginning. As AI keeps getting more advanced, Data Cloud will become even better at helping us unlock the value that's hidden in our data.
That's exciting, but it's also kind of a lot to take in. So as we wrap up our deep dive into Data Cloud, what's the one big takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
If you remember just one thing from this whole conversation, let it be this. Data Cloud is more than just some technology. It's a way to completely transform your business. It can change the way you understand your customers, the way you make decisions, and the way you run your entire operation.
It's about embracing the power of your data and using these tools to build a better future for your business.
Well said. And remember, the journey doesn't stop here. Now it's time to go out there and see what Data Cloud can do for you.
And that's a wrap on our deep dive into Salesforce Data Cloud. We'll be back next time with another episode of The Deep Dive, where we'll continue to explore the exciting world of data and technology. Until then, happy exploring.